What's up? Welcome back to Superman and Lois retrospective reviews. We are back. Been a couple weeks. Scheduling has been hectic, but we are back with season 2, episode 7, entitled Antihero. And this episode picks up right from where we left off. Clark is being held against his own will in that
Are we
prison.
live or is this recording?
This recording.
Okay, cool. Sorry. I just saw the live thing up there. I was like,
It
wait,
always says it always says live when it's recording.
my bad. My bad. Sorry.
Jesus, if we're live, wait, no, it will have the comment section up. You just
Okay.
scared me. But he's being held in that same prison with Taro, General Mitch Anderson. You can replace that M with a B if you want to. Is holding him there because he wants BIZZARO so bad because he really cares about his people who were killed. General Hardcastle basically gave him an objective, and he's going about it in his own way.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, but Clark is basically trying to steer him in the direction of Allie Alston. That seems to work later on in the episode, but not in the way that Clark hoped. Because again, Anderson's an idiot. So I mean, there's that. But this episode was one of the better ones from season 2. I remember this episode vividly, because in this episode we also say goodbye to the living version of BIZZARO, which honestly, that's why I said the living version,
Yeah.
because when that actually did happen, I was shocked. I was not expecting to lose that character in
So
the
soon.
seventh
Yeah.
that's the 7th episode. So yeah, like what are your thoughts? This episode was good.
Oh, yeah. I remember being pretty shocked by it when it first came out. I'm glad that we got to see, that we got to see more Tal in this episode. Looking back, when we see the run of the whole show, we realize that we're getting closer to the last time we ever see that character. So I'm glad that we got more of the stuff between him and Clark here. And you can see the bits where they're working together, and you even see, just from the look on the BIZZARO Superman's face, you see the relationship that BIZZARO Clark had with his version of Tal, and that kind of makes you interested. You're like, oh, I want to hear that story, which you figure that story out in a few episodes. But the whole dichotomy between Clark and Tal, whenever they put Lara into that mix as well, I like just the brief interactions that we do get with them, because you don't really. You see a lot of Clark talking to his mother, but not a lot of the three of them together. So, again, some of those interactions I like. Anderson is a dumbass in these episodes, and it is really something to notice whenever Hardcastle, she is constantly scolding Anderson, saying, Sam Lane had a way with Superman to where they were always on the same page, and you just can't do that. And that's just kind of telling you, hey, because of that trust that Sam and Clark have with each other, you can tell Anderson's not going to be as fit for this role. But even though Sam's not head of the DEO anymore, he still has strings that he can pull, which is part of what he was able to do in this episode. When you hear, when the episode starts with them figuring out Clark's arrested, and Sam's like, let me go pull some strings and see if I can resolve this. And, later on in the show, you see that, while Sam may not always be in a position of power, he is still very well connected. So I like that they maintain that.
Speaking of the stuff with Tal and Clark and their mother, the stuff between Tal and Clark, I love the chemistry that they have with each other on screen. That leads to some of the best moments in the season, because this is the last season that we effectively do see Tal. So that leads to some of the best moments, especially in this episode, seeing all three of them, seeing Tal jump in the way when Anderson decides to, seeing that happen. Like, he's willing to sacrifice himself for his little brother. And I appreciate that character development. And the simple fact that BIZZARO is willing to help his doppelganger and his doppelganger's brother as well It's crazy.
Yeah, because he knows they're just all trying to stop Allie.
Yeah, all she had to say was, "Please help my sons," and he's all right.
Yep,
All
and
right,
he just
cool.
boom, no questions asked. I loved
Jump
that.
to it. I love I love the
Yeah,
familial. That's what this show was all about. At the end of the day, family, and I love how
yeah.
they kept that through
Mhm.
line in everything, especially this episode. Now, when we jump over to the kids,
I'm sorry. I love the oh shit look that Mitch has when he realizes, oh, kryptonite doesn't work on this guy.
yeah,
I love that realization because like
but
we already know
I felt like
kryptonite doesn't work.
I felt like he figured it out too quickly though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a little bit.
I'm talking about with the XK. I felt like he figured that out too quickly, and it made it seem like yes, BIZZARO was already weak, but dog, you didn't have to choke him out. Because
Yeah.
honestly, if he was full, it's no way you're going to tell me that you can choke out Superman
Yeah.
on his regular planet. You wouldn't be able to do that. You took
Yeah.
the coward's way out. You
And
took
you
the coward's way out.
and Superman's fast, but he can't be in two places at once. So
Exactly.
it was either save his doppelganger or save his brother.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The kids this episode, more so Jonathan, were frustrating to say the least. And listen, from a nobility side of things, I get where Jonathan is coming from, not wanting someone else's life to be ruined, not wanting his girlfriend's life to be ruined because of something that she ultimately doesn't want to do either. She just kind of feels like she was dealt a bad hand and is doing the best she can.
Yeah.
Jonathan feels like, he's just trying to help her through that. But him being a teenager is not aware of, he just doesn't have that ability to think big picture yet, despite everything he's gone through in the last year.
Oh, John's
He,
an idiot.
he is definitely reaches some of his lows in this season. And you could argue that you needed him to go through some of those lows in order for him to grow into who he eventually becomes into in season 4 once he, furthers his development. But these were definitely some of the frustrating bits with them. And what I found funny was, like you compare this to season 1 with the brothers, how they would, confide in each other first before the parents knew, like they would mutually agree on things together. Here, Jonathan's not even wanting to tell Jordan things, and but even though he feels like if it came down to it, Jordan would keep that secret to help him. Here, he's just not even doing that. Now, granted, Jordan's being a little bit of a dick, just saying, or I wasn't the one selling drugs. Is it this guy buying them? Is it this guy buying them? It's like, why don't you just ask him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what he's trying to do, but dog, you don't have to be that noble. You're willing to take the brunt of this punishment for your girlfriend. And trust me, I get it. But you're
Yeah.
about to ruin your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to ruin your life for her. That made me think John was really, really stupid. But at the same time, it's noble. I get it.
Yeah. It's good drama.
But yeah, it's good.
But
It's good.
also, holy shit, that was a lot of drugs. Because what did she
Yeah.
say? Like 20 inhalers?
He said, nothing's gonna happen to me. You're standing there with the vials while they have drug sniffing dogs behind you. You
Yeah.
idiot.
And then even Lois was like, what were you doing with so much of it?
And that's what pissed me off. Why put it? It's like it was just so. It's just so convenient, and that's how you know when she just shows up with all those drugs, and all of a sudden the police they're just there. Like
Yeah.
something should tell you like something bad is gonna
Yeah.
happen.
And that scene between, before it like cuts to those two, where you have Lois and Lana at the Gazette and Lois picks up the phone, I immediately knew it was John that they were calling about.
Yeah,
Just on first watch, not even on rewatch, but just that reaction from Lois is very accurate to what a mother would do if their child was in that situation. Like, he got caught with what? Yeah, like they would react exactly like that. And you can tell Lana's confused at first. She's like, what the hell's going on? But um no, it definitely does create some good family drama. And speaking of family drama and Lana, result that I guess that leads into another part of the episode where what is the mayor's name? I always forget his name.
I almost called him Mayor Bellows because I'm thinking about the Flash.
What is it?
What
Mayor,
is
Mayor
his name?
Dean.
Dean. Yep.
Yeah.
He looks like the mayor. He looks like the principal of Family Guy.
He almost reminds me of Robbie Coltrane, Rubius Haggard's actor.
Yeah.
But dude is a dick for sure. And
For sure.
you can tell he's trying to utilize what's going on with Lana and Kyle to his advantage, which, well, sadly, a lot of political figures, I wouldn't put that past them. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I really do like Lana a lot in this season. Like the stuff that she's constantly going through, one after the next, but constantly putting a smile on for her kids at the end of the day. But the back and forth between her and Sarah, where Sarah's like, you don't have to pretend with me. Like, you're allowed to still feel. But of course, Lana she doesn't have the luxury of falling to pieces, because then her whole family's going to fall apart even more than it already is.
Exactly. And
Yep.
along with that, like, she's trying to be strong. Sarah had to learn, and I hate that she had. I mean, it made sense that she went to the girl that she cheated on Jordan with. I get it.
Yeah.
Because she's a child of divorce. So it took her to realize that, yeah, you can still see your parents because you're not doing nothing but punishing yourself at the end of the day. Kyle did something stupid, but that did not happen to you. He didn't do that to you. Your relationship with your father can be separate. You don't have to lump it together to try to be strong for your mom. You can be strong for your mom, but still have that relationship, because at the end of the day, you only get one dad. So, I mean, I get that. This show had a lot of great lessons like that. A lot of great lessons.
Oh yeah. They've said that it's a family drama first and a superhero show second, which that's not necessarily a bad thing if you do both of those things really well and do it right.
Yep.
And you get the whole conversations with I do really like on the side with Sarah too, where she like she has all the shit that's going on with her family, but because of what's happening with John right now, you can see that she still shows concern for Jordan. She's like, oh, Jordan must be freaking out. He must be losing his mind. So I like that part of it a lot. I'll steer this here for a minute. But there are parts where, like I said earlier in the episode, Jordan's really frustrating because, like, yeah, you can tell he wants to help his brother, but going immediately for the accusation is something that I don't think you should do, especially if this is somebody that you've kind of been working with in secret in your past number of occasions. I don't think you should be like that toward your brother.
I don't want to do drugs, but I do want to take some XK. If it gave me powers,
drugs are bad, man. Listen, when have you ever watched a superhero show and they got powers through steroids and it turned out good?
Also true.
I was about to say, when has that ever happened? But yeah, what you said, this was one of the better episodes, but I think just, it had what, three, four, no, not even four. I don't think there was a fourth storyline in the episode. It was just, okay, my monitor just went off for a second. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. You ain't go anywhere.
Yeah, my screen just went black for a second. I got scared.
Are you sure it wasn't just me on your screen?
I couldn't see a thing on my screen.
Anyway. Oh, you missed the joke, man.
Yeah, I didn't want to give you any more ammunition. Anyway, but no, we had the Clark Taub storyline, we had the Lois and Jonathan story, and then the Sarah Lana story. Kyle wasn't in this episode, was he?
For a second, like towards the end.
Oh yeah, because you see him outside the place at night. He's like standing outside. And because last episode ended and Lana was like, hey, listen, I've had time to think about things, and until I get this figured out, like, you need to go. I'm like, well, I mean, at the time, I know it looked rough. I know it looked like drama, but honestly, I think they both work better where they ultimately ended up.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't get to see much of Lana with where she ended up, but hey, you know what? What we got to see, I was still happy with it.
I wish we got to see more, but we know how season 4 turns out.
Yeah, dude, the fact that, just a small little side note, the fact that season A was able to come together and be as good as it was crazy because they had all the cards stacked against them. But
Bro, it could have went horribly wrong.
it could have, as is the case with most season 4 Arrowverse shows. Most of them are pretty bad.
Yeah, it did not suffer the season. Honestly, I think
some of them didn't even get season 4.
I don't think anybody's season 4 is worse than Black Lightning's though. I don't think about it. One of your lead stars is leaving, so you have to come up with a convoluted reason why she randomly looks different, but then you convince her to come back for the series for the now series finale. You didn't know that this season was going to be your last season. Your lead star is beefing with everybody in the cast. He barely did any of the stunts. It was always a dude in a mask. He's beefing with China for majority of it.
So
I don't think any season 4 was as bad as Black Lightning. From the script to the behind the scenes of it all.
Behind the scenes, yes, I agree. Just quality wise, I don't know. Like
they made Tobias even more campy than usual.
Especially after how good Gravedigger was.
Yeah, like I think season 4 was pretty bad.
No, it was bad. I'm just saying, like Arrow and Legends also had terrible 4th seasons.
I don't think they were terrible, but at least people on the set still liked each other and it didn't bleed into the story.
True. Okay, yeah.
China and McClane had a bodyguard sitting in the living room for the final one because she couldn't stand cuz. I hope they fix that, but at the same time, when everybody was saying their cast farewells and they were posting pictures of like the set and their castmates, nobody posted a picture of Cress. It was so awkward, but I'm like, y'all don't think we noticed? Like,
that's
we know,
unfortunate because I love Cress. He's great.
Well, and I mean, I get it. He cost them all their jobs, bro.
Yeah, so
he went in there and said one day, "Yo, yeah, I think I want to be done." And the Warner Brothers and the CW said, "If you leave, the show is over with." So, I mean,
yeah. Hey, well, you know what? Out of all the season 4s, I don't think anyone can argue this one had the best.
Yeah, this is the best.
But
Black Lightning. I think it will always be, because before that, I would say Arrow, then the Flash. But I have to say,
I don't even think Flash season 4 was bad. I think it was just weaker.
Yeah, it didn't get it. It was weaker because they kept doing all of that body swapping crap.
No, Legends is worst.
When it was Neil Sandilands, yeah. So I would, if I'm ranking them from worst to best,
we're getting off tangents.
We're getting off tangents, but that's because Darren's not here. But I would, if I had to rank them, Superman and Lois is the best.
Yeah.
I think the worst, I think it would be a tie between Legends, because Legends just did whatever the hell, and Black Lightning, when you're on set, stuff bleeds into the story. I think it's a tie.
Superman and Lois, and then the rest.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, this just adds to the fact that this show will have a lasting legacy, and this episode alone adds to that. Yeah. I did not expect BIZZARO to get killed off this early. I did not expect to see Mitch going to Allie. I did not expect that.
Again, he's a dumbass.
And this is I love Ian Bohen as an actor because, I mean, I became an Ian Bohen fan from Teen Wolf, where he played
Yeah.
a deplorable person on there. So him coming over here and being a deplorable person and being an antagonist to Tyler Hoechlin, and he was an antagonist to Tyler Hoechlin
It felt
as
full
well as
circle.
it
Yeah.
felt full circle, except this time they weren't related.
Yeah. And
So,
also, this episode, if I remember correctly, was directed by Gemma from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
yep.
Yeah, she directed this episode. I still haven't finished that show, but I remember reading her name. I was like, oh. And from a directing standpoint, I think she did a pretty solid job with this episode. I gotta say. But yeah, I know we were saying it was one of the better ones, but even still, like, this is probably going to be on the shorter end of retrospectives, just because it's mostly just praise with a couple of criticisms.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
that's really season 2 in a nutshell. Like,
It really
like
is.
the good does outweigh the bad, and like if this is the weakest that a series gets, then that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna round this out.
Honestly, it's just I just wish Jonathan was smarter, but this is all in his arc. So I mean, I get it. It leads to New John getting punched in the face next season. So
Yep.
And it's crazy. We're winding down on
Jordan Alsace.
Jordan Elsa's time on the show. So I will always enjoy his Jonathan, but this is also the turning point in the season to where everybody from the school and from this team starts treating him like Smallville trash. So
Yep.
So we have that to look forward to. But Darren should be back on this next go round. If you are new here, again, like, share, and subscribe. If you're returning, do the same thing. Jake is tagged in the description box down below, and possibly, actually, he might be tagged in the title as well. Bye.